I'm Liam Schmitt with the PSU Vanguard, and welcome to the first official Schmitt Show. Aside from those few reels we did a year ago, but we can forget about those. This is going to be a show that you can watch every Sunday with some news, some chatting, a little advice, and hopefully just something that you can watch to relax and decompress before the week starts. Now, we are working on some new intros, so stay tuned for that, but I just couldn't wait. So for now, let's roll the old intro, and please ignore those old clips of me. Welcome to the show. I hope everyone had a good weekend. This past weekend, it was actually Halloween weekend, and me and my boss, Mr. Noah Karandanis, dressed up as Odie and John Arbuckle from Garfield. I'll throw a photo up on screen right now. And yeah, he was supposed to be Garfield, but he lost that costume, so we just ran with the whole John and Odie thing. I hope everyone had a good, safe, fun weekend, and I hope everyone is enjoying midterms. I hope midterms are treating you all well. And speaking of being treated well, let's jump into this week's news. The State of Oregon's Employee Relations Board found Portland State University guilty of engaging in unfair labor practices against the Portland State University Faculty Association. Now, this came after the PSU administration failed to distribute funds from the union's Adjunct Financial Assistance Fund, Professional Development Fund, and the Faculty Education Fund. Now, these funds are intended for adjuncts who want to take professional development opportunities like conferences and for part-time faculty to take PSU courses at $31 per credit. But the Financial Assistance Fund acts as emergency assistance for adjunct faculty. This can be things like a sudden loss of income, housing insecurity, a family crisis, or urgent need. In July, PSUFA members were notified that these funds would not be dispersed because of the expiration of their current bargaining contract with PSU, which occurred June 30th. PSUFA and PSU were in active bargaining talks at that time. PSUFA co-chair and chair of communications, Erica Thomas, explains, quote, "Their opinion was that these funds were permissive. Our opinion was that they were not permissive. And essentially, that was the discrepancy. Are they allowed to optionally not pay people?" Now, after this ruling, the university has to disperse the previously agreed upon funds with interest. And Katie Swordfisk, the media relations manager at PSU, explained in an email statement that PSU is committed to bargaining in good faith to reach a fair agreement for a new contract, and that they value the adjunct faculty and are dedicated to a transparent, sustainable resolution. Now, if you want to learn more, you can read the full story written by Olivia Young on our website at psuvanguard.com, or you can find one of our newspapers for free in newsstands around downtown Portland. Now, if you're a fan of parks, this week, Nick Gatlin argues that Portlanders should be voting yes on Measure 26260. This is a 5-year levy to fund operations for Portland Parks and Recreation. If this doesn't pass, then the park's operating budget will be cut by about half. This means reductions in services including basic repair, trash pickup, and safety patrols. Now, this shouldn't even be on the ballot in the first place. Portland Parks and Recreation racked up an $800 million backlog of maintenance costs due to poor planning. This infrastructure crisis is an unforced error caused by an apparent lack of long-term thinking, as Portland continues to build new parks without finding ways to pay for their maintenance costs. Nick argues that if this measure doesn't pass, then garbage would pile up, park rangers would be out of a job, community centers, public parks, and pools would be shattered. And if you want to hear Nick's full breakdown, I recommend that you check out the full article. That's it for the news. Let's move on to something a little more fun. It'll give me the opportunity to kind of speak a little more candidly, be a little more personal with all of you, which is something I haven't really been able to do before. Yeah, so I'd roll the intro if we had it, but we're still waiting on that. So let's get into Schmitt Talk. This segment is going to be where you can send in any of your dilemmas, anything you need advice on, and I will do my best to give you my unprofessional opinion. Now, someone said, in the age of dating apps, how does one either get approached or approach people IRL, to be friends or otherwise, without being embarrassed? So it sounds like dating apps and meeting people online is not something you want to do, which is fine. That works for a lot of people, but that's not you. So you need to get outside. You literally just need to be taking every opportunity you can to get outside, whether that be going to your local coffee shop to do your work, or it doesn't even have to be like a paid thing like that. You can go to the library. I go to the library all the time. I'm a student. And if you're not a student, there are still libraries. You could go to a free public library. You need to first put yourself just in a position to meet people. And I know that's hard. When I first came to Portland State, I didn't know many people, and I spent a lot of time just kind of alone in my dorm, hanging out. But eventually, I walked by some guys tabling for a baseball club, and I decided to join. And there are so many different clubs and communities like that for you to join. Like, go join your local run club, or go to a local game store to play some card games, or go do yoga or Pilates, which we have for free with Group X at Portland State, which I just figured out about. I should go to those. Yeah, just go to one of those. Anyways, I hadn't played baseball since elementary school, but I decided to show up, try it out, and I made so many friends that way. And I think that's one of the most important things, just showing up for things. If you continue to leave the house and show up for things, you'll inevitably make some friends. And I think that's why so many people find it harder to make friends as an adult, because when we were kids in school, we were around these people constantly. We went to recess with them, we ate lunch with them, we had school with them, we did schoolwork in class with them. But now you can kind of just stay at home. You can order food from home, you can do your homework from home, you can do your classes from home, you can work from home. We just need to be leaving the house more. We need to be leaving to have interactions with people, to make friends. And it's not something that you have to be pushing too hard. Just be there, be present, smile, and be nice to people. And it might take some time, but eventually, the more you show up, you'll start to make genuine connections with people. And I get the whole being embarrassed thing. Like, it could be pretty awkward to walk up, smile to a stranger, try and make small talk with them, and then they're just cold back to you. But that's honestly more embarrassing for them. Like, why are you being rude to a random stranger on a Tuesday afternoon? And this is also how you become more approachable too. Just smile at strangers and be nice to them. And I promise you that none of these people are going to go home and think, man, it was so embarrassing when that random stranger tried to be nice to me and talk to me. I think that we as a society are focusing a little bit too much on just being nonchalant, and we should just be ourselves unapologetically. The dating one is a bit trickier. I myself have been out of the dating game for a few years now. Shout out my girlfriend. But what I can say is that these things will come naturally too. And for that one, don't push it. Even more so than with the friends one, don't push yourself romantically on anyone. It'll click eventually. Just let it happen naturally. Just be very straightforward about everything and don't be worried about it. And hey, if any of you see me in public, come say hi. I'd be happy to help you practice talking to strangers. Now our next submission says, oh my lord, how am I supposed to find a job, pass my classes, do extracurriculars, athletics, and still have a social life? I'm also a freshman for now. I think most of us have been here when we kind of first step into our adult lives after being kids, and it's tough. I'd say the first most obvious answer is tracking how your day is spent. If you feel like you don't have enough time in your day, but you're spending 3 hours a day on Instagram, then maybe you should be spending a little bit less time on Instagram. That was a problem I had for a long time, and I decided to get one of those apps that makes you wait 10 seconds to open Instagram, and it helped a ton. It's annoying whenever I have to post a video, but it really helped me get off Instagram because I'd go on to have that little dopamine hit, and then after the 10 seconds, I'd be like, I don't actually need to be on this app. But that might not be you, in which case we need to figure out some other things. You mentioned looking for a job and also wanting to have a social life. Maybe find a job surrounded by really cool people that you really enjoy spending time with, and then going to work could almost feel like part of your social life. Speaking of which, we are always hiring contributors here at the Vanguard, so if you want to work with a really cool group of people, you should come apply here. And for passing your classes, I'd say just chat with your professors. Make sure you're going to their office hours and kind of building a personal relationship with them. I found it easiest to pass classes when I have that relationship with a professor and I can chat with them when I need help with a class or something's going wrong. But you're a freshman, which means that people around you are probably socializing constantly, which you should try your best to enjoy as much as you can, but also make time for yourself and your personal goals. Which it sounds like you are. You're trying to find a job, do athletics, do extracurriculars, socialize, pass your classes. It sounds like you're on the right track and you'll be just fine. Just make sure to take some time to take care of yourself as well. That's going to be it for the show this week. I appreciate you all bearing with me and sticking around to the end. Things are going to be changing up a bit as this show continues to develop, but I appreciate you watching. And I am thankful to have this space where I can kind of be more candid, off book, and genuine with everybody. So I hope you have a great week. Hope you come back next Sunday to catch the next episode of The Schmitt Show. And again, this is Liam Schmitt with the PSU Vanguard, signing off.